Hello, this is Experience Fulton Healthy Aging, a podcast for and about older adults. I'm Ladisa Onyiliogwu. You're invited to learn about this wonderful county and its players who are addressing important issues affecting the fastest growing population. We're all aging, so why not do it in the most healthy and engaged way possible? So, welcome. Let's get started. Joining me is Shavon Walls, and she's here to talk about kinship care. Shavon, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience living in Fulton County.
I've been living in Fulton County for about 3 years now, and I enjoy just the urban city living. I enjoy being able to take public transportation, take my kids out to the area parks and the Beltline. I enjoy it.
Well, wonderful. And it's important for our listeners and viewers to know that you have a special connection with Fulton County government. You are the program coordinator for our kinship care program at the Department of Senior Services.
Yes.
So let's start there. What is kinship?
So kinship is where a family member steps in to take care of an infant to a teen child when the biological parents can't.
Okay, infant to teen. Is it always an informal process, or is there some type of formality to it?
Well, with kinship, most of the time, I would say 99% of the time, kinship is a relative that's taking care of them, and there's no paperwork or anything for that. However, with foster care, that's normally someone where they've had to get some form of training and they get an additional financial assistance.
Okay, well, tell me about the program that you coordinate and the services that you offer to Fulton County older adults.
The program we have is a resource-based program. So I am the liaison to make sure that the resources are meeting the community that it needs to serve. So whether it's social services, health services, transportation, what else do we have? Legal aid. These are the services and resources that we offer with the Department of Senior Services Kinship Care.
Okay, I know that our listeners and viewers are going to benefit a lot about the resources that you share. But before we get to the specifics of that, what are some of the factors that would lead up to a kinship care need within a family? What are some motivating or the dynamics within a family that will result in an older adult having to care for their relative?
Well, if there's something that goes on with, like I said, the biological parents and they're unable to take care of the child, so whether it's they're sick, they're outside of the home, that's what makes it more kinship than anything, that their actual parent is not in the same home with them. So examples would be health, incarceration. Sometimes people need a break. And family members are able to step in to build a safety net around that child.
Okay. Are there any pros or cons associated with being a kinship caregiver?
With the community that we serve here, with them being seniors, they have to be 55 and older. So they bring a wealth of knowledge. They have lived experience. They have the patience to be able to take care of some things and more stability.
You just mentioned the lived experience and the fact that they are older adults. So with being here and understanding the importance of family and keeping the family unit intact, I think that kind of aligns with how the states prioritize, and our county prioritizes placement of children.
Yes.
And can you talk a little bit more about that and why there's a greater comfort level and maybe a greater outcome for the child in terms of academics or being able to engage in society, being with a family versus any other type of living arrangement?
Well, Ladisa, they've already built a relationship more than likely with this particular child. So they're comfortable. They're not taking them to an unfamiliar place. They're able to stay with this particular caregiver until it's time for them to go back to their parent, or it's more comfortable with them being within this particular space, allowing them the opportunity to grow and, again, have a safety net around this particular caregiver for them. It's the difference with taking them and placing them in a home where they don't know someone. They're also placing them that could possibly be within a ward of the state. This cuts all of that out. This gets them directly to a family member who already loves and cares for them.
Okay. Talk to our listeners about technology challenges. I was counting up the number of apps that we have to use. We have school-age children in the home. And believe it or not, there are about 7. That includes 2 websites for schools, an app for school fees, checking the homework for the week, grades, paying for food. Everything uses technology. So how do the older adults that you service fare with having to deal with technology? Are there challenges there? And what resources are available to help them?
Now, there are a couple of challenges. I have a group of fantastic families. So I have one, she's 85, and she can text and do social media faster than anyone else in the group. So Ms. Williams is great. She's able to navigate these particular social media apps. Now, when it's also coming to the apps where making sure that things are taken care of for school, that can be a struggle for some caregivers. So we're offering workshops, and we partner with local organizations like Gen Care, local organizations like Each One Teach One, to do workshops to show them, how do you work your phone? How do you send an email? How do you work this particular app? How do you send these particular text messages? How do you receive these text messages? Just to have them within that particular loop, because the kids now are growing up with this technology, and this is all new to this particular generation. So just keeping them abreast to the language, and also being able to, so that they can know what to watch for on social media with the children that they have in their care, things they need to listen to, acronyms they need to pay attention to. So it's a lot. I make sure that they have a list of things, a checklist to go down. These are the things that you're looking for, especially with their middle school and high school kids. But it's getting to the point where children are getting cell phones earlier and earlier on in their life. So it's a process, and it's just keeping them well abreast. Myself trying to stay on top of it so that I can make sure that they have the information.
Why did you get into this work?
I am a kinship baby. My grandmother raised her siblings. Then she raised 10 boys and 1 girl. Then all of those boys had all of these grandchildren. And my grandmother raised us in one huge brownstone in Chicago, and we all lived in one place, and she took care of us. And my heart goes out to when I see these caregivers come in and they need assistance with housing. They need assistance. They have food insecurity. They need a better understanding of how to apply for the benefits. That's been a really big thing. But those 3 of food, housing, and actually how to apply and get the resources have been what we've been looking for. So what they needed more assistance with. So once I saw that is something that I'm passionate about, of just being able to offer them some type of service, being able to give them an act of love, being able to give them some time to understand that we do see you. We understand that this probably was not what you were planning on doing in your later years, but this is where we're at right now. So what can we do to help this process be a little bit easier for you? I know if I take care of the caregiver is going to take care of the child.
Okay, it's a great philosophy. Do you have a story of a senior or 2 that you could let us know how they have benefited from the program that you've done here, or even before you got to this, the Fulton County government?
Oh, I have a lot of stories. I love my seniors. They are, I actually came from maternal child health. So, working with moms and babies, now I'm working with babies and grandparents. And I have one grandparent that she's actually legally blind. And every event I send to her, everything I have, she makes it there. She uses our Star Line to make sure she has some type of transportation, or she's calling me, and or she's getting on the bus, anything to make sure that she's there to get these resources. She actually has teenagers, and one just recently graduated from high school this past spring, and the other one is in middle school. And she actually received these kids at 3 o'clock in the morning. She was really at the point of living her best life. She had been traveling and taking cruises, and then out the blue, she needed to get her grandkids, and she didn't hesitate at one time, bring them whatever I need. She was actually in a 1 bedroom. So now we have to find her, well, we had to find her a larger place. And
Were you able to do that?
we were able to do that. We were able to get her located in East Point, actually, through still Fulton County, but East Point Housing Service was able to get her a 3 bedroom townhouse. So that's one of my best stories, because these are two big, huge boys in a 1 bedroom, almost like studio apartment. Wow. So she was able to make that. Well, with them living on a fixed income, it was a hard process. So it took a couple of months for us to figure out, go check out some places, see if this is suitable for her. But that's one of our biggest things, is helping find them housing.
That's a great story. Great story. And I know that the middle schooler is going to do just as well.
Yes.
Because of the help and resources. And we know that we can't be all things to all people at the Department of Senior Services, but this type of program is a great example of what we can do in pointing people in the right direction. And what I just heard from what you just shared is that you connected this grandmother to another resource within the county that helps. How do the seniors find you, and are any of them apprehensive about asking for help? And I preface that based on the fact that grandparents and aunts and uncles have been raising their relatives forever. So this is not new, but you're here to provide a resource. So is there some hesitation in acknowledging, hey, I need help?
Yes. For one, sometimes it's a pride thing. The next would be to make sure that other services are not going to be taken away because I'm offering you this service. So I have to love on them first. I have to, and I'm following them through it. I have some that have kids that are just in kindergarten, and they're 80, almost 90 years old with kindergartners. So I'm in this as long as you are here with Fulton County where I can assist you. I'm going to the high school graduation. I'm in it in the full time with them because they consistently need this assistance. It's can sometimes be a stamina thing. Let's see, last week we actually went to the movies in the park, and just finding free events that can go off and actually have them where they can learn some things. It's a small adventure for me and the caregivers to be able to take their kids, we watch some movies, get some popcorn, go home.
Okay. You talked about the 3 top issues that are facing the caregivers. Will you say those one more time?
It's housing, food, and I said housing, food,
and
I done lost
benefits.
Resources.
Okay.
Yes. Housing, food, and resources, and just making sure that the resources. I covered the entire Fulton County, so some of my caregivers that are in North Fulton don't necessarily need the same resources that my caregivers need in South Fulton. However, there are resources that they need. So this is with tutoring, trying to find childcare, filling out the information for childcare. Everyone needs assistance with that, and but housing is the biggest thing because they're coming from living on a fixed income sometimes, and now they need to expand. And now they need to make what they were originally bringing in stretch.
Okay. All right. So, what's the correlation with kinship caregiving and healthy aging? Is there a link? What you're doing, are you seeing the benefits of helping an older adult take care of their health mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, anything? Are you seeing any benefits to healthy aging?
Yes, most definitely. It is to actually see someone, and the minute I see them, they're embracing me. It's having my grandmother all over again each and every time I see another one, and also my grandfather. Them just being able. I have 5 grandfathers on my roster, and 2 are veterans. So just meeting them at Piccadilly and hearing their stories and teaching them how to relate to the new generation with these kids, and being able to, like, hey, I bet they'll relate if you tell them this story. Make sure you give them this information. So I can definitely see how it's helping their mental health. Making sure that we stay on top of the blood pressure, things that is confined to this particular community, and making sure that they're getting connected to healthy heart associations, and making sure that those associations are at my events, that they can be able to talk to someone and just have a real holistic life.
Okay. We're almost at the end of the conversation, but I want you to just explain what your program does, and we're going to share the STAR line again, which is an acronym for Soaring Through Aging Resources. But how does your program work?
Well, they can call Starline, and Starline will connect them to me. Now, they're on the website. My number is there, and my email address as well. So they can contact me directly whenever they call. It's a one-woman show. So I'm the one that's going to answer the emails. I'm the one that's going to answer the calls. And I just basically set them up with just a quick questionnaire of things that they need, so that I can just keep it streamlined. And then we go from there. Preferred method of communication is whatever's good for them. So if they like to talk on the phone, I'm going to talk on the phone with them. But I have a lot of grandparents that are fine with text and email, just keeping them abreast with everything that's going new.
Okay. And are there any certain points in time within a year where you'll have a higher volume of interest, or there are certain changes, let's say with schooling, where you're seeing an uptick in questions for resources and assistance?
August is a really big year because school is starting back, so they're looking for clothing, they're looking for backpacks, school supplies, and along this time where they're needing assistance with the holidays, with Thanksgiving, with Christmas as well, needing information for that. So I would say anywhere from August to the end of the year is a really busy period for me.
Okay. Shavon, do you have any closing thoughts for us?
I really want people to understand that kinship is something that we've been doing since the beginning of time. This is just allowing our older community to get a better understanding that these are the resources that are here for you. We're here to help you in whatever way that you're going to need. That I have a huge book full of resources that if I'm not able to help you, I can find someone that can.
This has been a wonderful conversation. Shavon, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And to our viewers and our listeners, we hope that you've learned some valuable information about kinship services provided through the Department of Senior Services and Fulton County government. For more information, give us a call at our STAR line, 404-613-6000, or you can email us at seniorservices@fultoncountyga.gov. Download this podcast and share with a member of your community or a family member. Until next time on Experience Fulton, Healthy Aging, take care.